Another day of Big Brother 27 feeds to talk about. It is July 29th, 2025, but I'll also be talking about some stuff from last night as well. As I believe Auntie Rachel commented on yesterday's video, it seems like it hurts my spirit to talk about some of them, is what she said. Yeah, it does hurt my spirit to talk about some of these players this season. Most seasons, really. But this season, with the people being microaggressive, with the people that want to give up, with the people that kind of just are clueless completely, that being Keanu and Callie, it could be tough to talk about at times. So I'm gonna start today talking about my favorite player in Ashley. I love that Ashley last night already caught on to the fact that the other side of the house, even though there's no solid sides yet, I still want to say that some of the sides have common enemies, but everyone on the sides do not, so there's no sides. But anyway, Ashley was onto the fact that Zach and Vince were testing the waters of a potential flip. And so she and Rachel briefly discussed that they are probably going to try and keep Adrian over Will if it comes down to those two. The problem last night was that Will's head was not looking like it was in the game. Once he went on the block for the second week in a row, Will really started to want out, I feel like, of the game. We saw that when he learned he was going to go up on the block via Ava and did nothing to prevent it. So the girls last night really had to get his head back in the game, and I think Mickey and Rachel did a good job of that. I also loved after the fact when Ashley had a cam talk for once, which she doesn't do often, if at all.
They're asking if Will is checked out because they're temperature checking me. I think because they're going to try to flip the vote. These people think I am dumb. It's working in my favor, but not on my watch.
And said that some of the players think she's dumb, and that's working for her for now, but she knows they want Will out, and she's going to try and stop it. So good to see that from Ashley. Adrian's obsession with Ashley has hit a high note last night, I suppose. It's crazy that just a week or two ago, people were trying to ship Adrian and Ashley together. And look at Adrian now. I think Adrian is just being a hater because he was the one nominated this week and she was not. But anyway, he was going on and on about how he's going to make sure to make Ashley a have-not because she's going to break the have-not rules. Like Kat and Jimmy haven't been breaking the have-not rules all week and production does nothing. So good luck with that, Adrian. But Adrian's worst thing has been his microaggressions. And he has moved on from talking about Ashley that way to talking about Mickey, talking about how much Mickey's going to lose it. We didn't get to hear what he was really talking about because the feed's cut. But, yeah, Adrian he would fit right in with the Sundown Town Alliance, other than, his skin color might make him be one of the first boots in that Sundown Town Alliance if that was a real side of the house. Thankfully, right now, like I said at the beginning, the sides of the house are very unstable. But yeah, those microaggressions towards Mickey are laughable because Mickey was the one who prayed with Lauren before she had to make her hard decision as HOH, which is something I didn't give Mickey enough credit for yesterday. She did play a big part in also keeping Lauren on the track of nominating Adrian instead of Ashley. So yeah, Mickey has not been losing it at any point. I wish Mickey actually would lose it with Adrian's dumbass, because Adrian being the person throwing Mickey under the bus every day since she was one of the first people to actually give him some good information in this game has been very head-scratching to me. Adrian, who goes around the house pretending to be Mr. Loyal and hating liars, only listens to the woman that lies the most in Kelly. And outside of Callie, Mickey was the only woman to really give him a lot of information. And he has done nothing but feed that information to the guys. I guess he just really thinks he's with Zach. But he knows Vince is playing this weasel game where he's in with anyone. But he gives Vince a lot of information too. Adrian's game is very ass backwards. And then last night, he spent most of the night discussing who he wants in jury with Callie and Lauren when he and Callie are on the block this week. And neither, as it stands right now, he, Callie, or Lauren can't vote. Now, 2 out of the 3 could, because Adrian or Callie might come off with a blockbuster and Lauren might have to break a tie. But Adrian, who's on the block, should probably be more worried about what votes he's going to get rather than jury. Will he even be here for jury? Not the way he's playing right now. Another laughable part of the night was when Adrian was thinking of a pitch to tell Rachel. He was planning on saying that she's not going to win this game ever. It's like an unspoken rule. And he was going to say, and I quote, "If I could figure out a storyline that she would have to do to be the first 2-time winner, keeping me and going against the people she's working with is the way to go." So Adrian's thinking he's really going to tell Rachel that she's not going to win the game ever. But the only way to win is to turn on your allies and work with me. Is this the super fan mastermind? I think not. Also, today, he's been trying to make it seem like he and Callie aren't that close. But he was the one in the first place going around the house making it known that he and Callie are close. Adrian is having a very bad week. He looks like an idiot, and I'm glad he does, because his true self has came out, and it is very ugly. Almost as ugly as his nose actually is. And I say that as someone with a big nose, but I hate his nose. So anyway, we have Will, who can't get his head in the game. We have Callie, who's saying she doesn't want to stay if she's on the block against Adrian at the end. And we have Adrian, whose social game is just very, very pathetic. Also, today, instead of gathering votes to stay, Adrian is like questioning people like it's an interrogation, especially Morgan, asking her questions. Why is he on the block? And trying to blame people for why he's on the block. I wish Adrian would go this week, because I would just laugh my ass off. And he's trying to make Morgan feel sorry for him, that he needs to stay in the game because he grew up poor. I wish I could say I cared, but I also grew up poor, but it doesn't make me feel any kind of way for Adrian. Then, we have those people who are headaches as it is. The people on the block are headaches. But Keanu is quite a big headache himself. Keanu, who took himself off the block this week, is still going around the house as one of the most clueless house guests of all time. And I think why he looks so bad and so clueless is because players like Keanu, who are so dumb and have no good reads whatsoever, are usually eliminated within the first 3 weeks of Big Brother. That happens a lot, where these clueless people who are delusional where they stand in the house and have no real read usually go pretty early. However, Keanu won the veto this week, so he's not going home. And so we're still stuck with him and his delusions. Last night, he was seemingly against Rachel again after trying to have talked with her, that it seemed like he wanted to work with her a little. I think one of his main problems is that he just only wants to listen to guys in the game. He comes across as not respecting the opinions of the girls whatsoever, because Rachel gave him good info, especially regarding Vince. And then last night he went and threw Rachel under the bus to Vince. And his dumbass has been nominated by 3 different people in Vince and Jimmy and Lauren, but somehow in his mind he's twisted it that he needs to work with these people and instead be after Rachel and the Mickeys and the Ashleys, people who didn't put him on the block because he was a house target. I wish I could understand his logic there, but there clearly isn't any. And then today he did once again try and talk to Rachel because Keanu thinks that Rachel is like alone in the game because Amy was eliminated last week. And he's very, very wrong about that. But Keanu thinks he could pick Rachel up and that Rachel should listen to him because, Keanu's the person with the real read on the house when his read is like the worst read on the house. Luckily, Rachel is much smarter than him and she's played this game many times, so she knows this. But then Mickey called out Keanu today because it got back to her that he made the comment that Mickey and Morgan are just cooking to advance their game. She was hurt by that comment, confronted him about it. Keanu tried to blame it on Will, saying that he only told Will that information, which is a lie. He told like several different players, if not half the house, he told that statement to. But so Keanu's trying to use this to put a target on Will this week because he's trying to help the people that continue to put him up on the block. I just, once again, I'll say, I don't understand his logic. He should be going after the people that are telling others his information. He has clocked that Kelly does this. Rachel's told him that Vince does this. But yet he is, at least to us, maybe his DR sessions in the next couple episodes will reveal that he is actually just playing Vince and Kelly. But on the feeds, it doesn't feel like that whatsoever. He continues to do the opposite of what he should be doing. Clearly, he is a big Dungeons and Dragons fan because he lives in Fantasyland. That is the only thing that I can think of. So, yeah, like I said, players like him usually get eliminated within the first 3 weeks, but we're stuck with him now, and I think he's probably going to get more and more annoying, at least for me. But I'd still rather Keanu's cluelessness over the likes of Riley and Kat, who are just acting like they're on summer vacation. Kat's getting upset that Morgan is always going around talking to different people. Morgan's actually playing the game, and I guess Kat can't fathom that. Riley and Kat, who I like to call Bad Vibes 1 and Bad Vibes 2, are meant to be. They do think alike. And, Riley, he just stays cussing up a storm all day and night. And a lot of times it's in an asshole manner. Like today, Callie was cooking something, and she asked if it smells good. And he was just like, no, that shit smells like ass, or something to that effect. But, that's not aggressive behavior, I guess. I just don't. I mean, I know Ray agreed with me in the comments yesterday. Shout out Ray about how Riley sometimes makes him uncomfortable watching him on the feeds. And that's exactly how I feel. And I just continue to get lost how they don't feel. The other players don't seem to feel that way with Riley. I would think they could just look into his eyes and see that. Does he not have the eyes of someone who is crazy? He has the crazy eyes that Angela was talking about last season. Lauren, who is our HOH this week, luckily she has no more power left this week to drive us all crazy. She continues to want her Zach and Vince final 3. She's told them both today. A couple days ago, Callie told Lauren that she could use Zach's crush on her to her advantage. She seems to be really, really trying to avoid being in a showmance with Zach. I don't think she's actually interested in Zach. But she's placating him and saying that, maybe they can date after the show. Today she said maybe they could use the whole showmance aspect in the house to, I guess, for some power plays to look like they're a thing. So if someone goes after one of them, they're going after both of them. But she doesn't want a real showmance with him, from what I can tell. So I don't know if she's fully using that crush to her advantage. I still think Lauren has had a decent week as far as the gameplay goes. I've done a lot of torching her as a person in the past few videos, and I stand by all of that. But she's getting out of this week, at least for now, of still trying to be a middle player because of the decision she made, which is smart. Because as I've been saying the past couple of videos, the house actually isn't a split house. There is totally a lot of different dynamics than just a split house. So that was smart of her. However, if the vote ties this week and she has to break the tie, welp, there goes her whole week right out the window. I also think that Morgan, at least to start the day, remained a bridge between both of these fake sides of the house because she's so close to Vince and Zach. But, she also has her closeness to Mickey and Will. And she thinks she's close to Ashley. Ashley can't stand Morgan. But today, Vince finally spilled to Morgan that Mickey told Adrian that Mickey said that Morgan and Zach and Vinny are a final three. Since then, Morgan has seemed a little pissy. But, Morgan's also walked in on Lauren and Zach being close. So it could be because of that. I don't know if she feels some kind of way about Mickey's statement. I just want her to tell Mickey this. And knowing Morgan, who can't shut up, she probably will. Because I need Mickey to understand that Adrian is playing this really weird rat game with Mickey specifically, even though Mickey has tried to help Adrian have a social game. And yeah, Mickey has targeted Adrian too. So I have no problem with them targeting each other. It's just the way that Adrian has gone about it, because his social game is so bad as it is. Why is he targeting someone who tried to actually have a social game with him? The logic, once again. These people do give me a headache. Auntie Rachel in the comments, it does annoy my spirit. Some last few things. Vince is definitely panicking. He's gotten really sloppy this week. I've been talking about it all week. Even Ava is starting to act suspicious about him to his face. It's nice to see Vince sweating, because I've said all along, the thing that annoyed me about Vince, because now that people are more onto him, I kind of am starting to like Vince. But the thing that annoyed me about Vince in the first place, and I said this for the first 2 weeks, is he's in a really good position, but I don't understand it, because he just didn't have that kind of social game to me. It felt like it should have been more see-through. It felt like it should have been more obvious. I didn't realize how dumb this cast was, and I should have realized that, because Big Brother always seems to cast dumb people, the dumbest of the dumb. But now that at least some people are starting to see the obvious, that he's always having one-on-ones with everyone all day long. Rachel clocked that really good today. She said that he's so fucking bad at this game. Ashley said, no, he's good. Rachel said, no, he is bad because he is connected with everyone. He is seen in the corner with every single person all the time. And it's sketchy, because it's always game talk. And yes, it's true. Vinny is always having one-on-ones about the game with everyone. And how is that not doing too much? So I love when Rachel and Ashley have their conversations, because they are the smartest players this season so far, at least when it comes to reading, having the best reads. Vince and Zach can, and I do still think Zach is in a good position, but there's a lot of potential for Zach to fumble. The Lauren and stuff is going to be weird how he navigates that. And if it does come down to Adrian and Will on the block this week, which I don't think it will, because I do think Adrian or Kelly have the better odds to win the blockbuster. It's hard to give Will a big shot, I guess, because of his age, but I hope he proves me wrong. But if it does come down to Will and Adrian, Vince and Zach can't show their cards because it kind of blows their whole game up. I think maybe Zach seems to be the one that wants to do it the most, but with the way Vince is still playing, despite people being suspicious of him, it's hard for me to see him draw a line in the sand. But I guess we have to see what Morgan does with the information about Mickey. There's a lot of stuff that can still happen this week. I must say, though, that Adrian is playing really terrible. And he played this way last week. He was okay. He won the blockbuster. He didn't end up on the block. He might talk himself out of the game if he continues to do the things that he's been doing over the past 24 hours. And I would like to see it.